Well, 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 well. Look at what we have here. It's a box. But in all seriousness, this is actually a really important item for me since, check it out if I can get it out of here. Okay, I can't get it out single-handedly. Hold on. Right, I finally got it out. But check this out. Oh! Oh my goodness. What do we have here? It's foam. I'm all kidding. But seriously, look at this. This is an all aluminum dual core radiator for my Platz. As you can see how thick it is, it's absolutely fantastic. Let me unwrap it and show you this in full detail. Alright, just look at how beautiful this looks. Like, look at the welds, they look really nice. Like, the overall build quality of this thing is really nice, especially of where I got it. I paid like 80 bucks for this, and I got it off of eBay. It was a really, like, I thought it would be like, okay, like the quality might be bad or whatever, but it's actually really nice. I looked through this entire thing, it's really nice, and before you go like, but eBay, why'd you buy it off of eBay? Well, I did try finding something that was not eBay, but all the links that even not eBay links, they were basically the exact same product. There were some available, not dual core, but they were triple core. The only difference is they were not a direct fit, and I wanted something that was direct, that I could install it and not have a hassle with it. So this is what I got. Obviously, it looks amazing, but before we do anything, we have to remove the old one. And let me show you how bad the old one is. And here is my old radiator all taken out of the car. Now if we look really closely at it, like you can see all the fins are basically falling apart. If I take my finger and run it across all the fins, they just fall out. And check out this piece. Look at it. It's falling apart. Even on this side. Like, look at that. It's falling apart. So, and because of that, when I'm in traffic, when I'm like going at 60 or 70, I have no problem with this radiator. The only problem I have is when I'm in traffic. That's when my car starts overheating. I have to turn on the heat full blast so I can at least, keep the temperatures under control. What happened actually is one of the hoses, actually this hose right here, when I was in traffic, I wasn't really overheating, but I noticed that I was overheating. So I cranked the heat like I usually do, and then I saw steam coming out of my engine. I was like, oh my goodness, this is the end for me. Actually, it wasn't. I was so lucky that an apartment store, not an apartment store, but a car parts store was like a block away from me. So I quickly drove there, bought some coolant, filled it up, made it home safely, no worries, but that's why I had to get this. But before we do anything to this, I have to transfer the fan and the overflow tank to the new one. Oop, right there. And here's everything that I need from that radiator to install onto that radiator. Now, as you can see, I got some rubber mounts. These go on the bottom, the fan shroud and the overflow tank, as well as the hoses and this little piece right here. Now, I would love to, get some silicone hoses, get a new fan shroud, get a new overflow tank, all of that good stuff, and make a whole restoration of the cooling system, but that's gonna come later. So I do have to reuse these. I will get new clamps, and I will have to get new hardware. So as you can see, this one is messed up. What I am actually going to be doing is cleaning all of this thoroughly. As you can see, pretty dirty. This is dirty as well. So clean the hoses, clean this feed, clean all of this. Then put it onto that radiator and be good to install. One more thing, since this is out, now I can actually clean and restore the bottom portion of where the radiator sits, meaning the rusted, clean it up real nicely, and then place this in. But look at how disgusting this is. Like, I don't even know how you can even tell. Like, look, you can see through it. That's how bad this is. And look at how, oops, light. And look at how tiny it is. Like, look at how tiny this is compared to that. Like, oh my god. And that also is gonna look so good in the car. Obviously not of this, but that, that's gonna look fabulous. Alright, so I'm almost done cleaning all of the pieces. But look, now that this radiator is empty, look at this. Look, it just falls apart. Like, look. Like, look at how nasty or old. I mean, the car does have like 250,000 miles, so it's as expected. I'm pretty sure this is original, to be honest with you. But it just like, I mean, I just can't believe at how nasty this is. Like, look, you can see through it. That's how bad it is. Yikes. But anyway, let me finish cleaning up all the old parts and get to installing the new radiator. And alright, everything is fully restored, or the best I could. As you can see, the fan shroud is nicely cleaned. I cleaned up the rust and painted it. All of these rubber pieces are washed, cleaned, and they're all nice, especially these hoses. I have new clamps for the hoses. This is clean, so pretty much everything is clean. The only one issue that I don't have is new hardware. I just cleaned the rust off of it, but once I get the new hardware, I'll just replace it. The other thing that happened is this fan activating switch broke off, so I'll have to go to the junkyard and get a new one. New, these are like they're like $85. So I'm not buying that new. I'll just go head one to a junkyard and get one. But let's see how this fits. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I mean, it just looks awesome. So let me reassemble everything, and then I'll be back to show you how it turns out. And there we go. Here's the full radiator, fully assembled, fan shroud, coolant reservoir, all the hoses, everything is assembled. In my opinion, it looks pretty good, but it would definitely look better with new stuff. But again, that will come later in life. But overall, this looks really good. Now it's just, let's go back to the car and see what I need to clean it up, and then hopefully install this fully. And here we can see this is where the radiator sits. We just need to clean up all this grime right here and some of the rust. It's not a huge deal, but it's some of it. The other interesting part about this is there are 3 radiator legs, which means we can actually find a full-sized one. The only problem is what car has this radiator that will fit into, instead of this hole right here, to the further one. But let's clean this up and prepare this for installation. And here's pretty much it being installed. Now as you can see, that portion back there is painted. Obviously not that part, but the radiator is in. There's a few issues. It's a pretty tight fit. It touches right here, and that lower radiator hose is kind of kinked, but that's fine because that's a really simple issue to solve. But as you can see, it's in. I just need to fill it up with more fluid, bleed the system, and hopefully everything is good. Overall, it looks really nice. And here we are in the last step. As you can see, I have the funnel in. Now I just need to start the car, let the system bleed, and be good to go. I already started the car, drove for a bit to get some more coolant. It doesn't leak, everything is good, everything works fine, it doesn't overheat, but again, only time will tell. Now the issues that we had, like for example, the lower radiator hose being crumpled in a bit, again, that can be solved, and as well as the radiator shroud. Since the radiator itself is like 2.5 times bigger than the OEM one, and that width has to go somewhere, and that will go closer towards the engine. since most people don't want to get rid of their condenser. Obviously, I don't have one, so I can compromise it by moving it more forward. In order for me to do that, there's two really things. I can cut off the wheels, the pegs where the radiator sits on, and move them forward more towards that way. Or I can cut out where the radiator sits on the frame and just flip it, meaning I'll move the radiator more towards the front of the car. But either way, I'm really happy with this radiator. It looks good. It feels nice. I mean, obviously it will decrease the coolant temperatures of this car. But overall, there's really, for the price that you get, it's a really good product in my opinion. All these issues are really easy to solve. But let's turn on the car. But anyway, now that everything is good, everything is bled, I went for a drive. It keeps a pretty nice constant 80 Celsius degrees for a while until it starts creeping up again. But that's just me sitting in traffic without using the fans. The only thing that I have left pretty much is requires the subframe to be dropped a little bit so I can do the sway bars, the mount, the solid bushings, which all will be really great. But if you look to the left, you can see that it's pretty much snowing already, and I doubt that I'll be able to do anything in these coming up months. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching, tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.